Here's the update to the Strand Builder in version 15. The size button has been removed. They are no longer needed anymore, as now we can drag the window up or down and the UI will adjust automatically. Also, the main UI can now be docked anywhere you like in Maya. This function is added for the Strand editor window as well. There are internal changes to the Strand Builder. To use an older asset, we will need to update it. This is an asset made from the previous version, and if you try to select it, it will give you a warning. Go to Menu and select Update. It will automatically detect the strands created by the Strand editor. When an asset is updated, it should turn white. Now if you select a strand, you can see we have the attributes displayed, and you'll be able to adjust the strand again. In this version, a texture toggle function has been added. If you like to see the texture, enter the textured mode, or by pressing 6 on your keyboard. When a strand layer is created, a shader is created with the corresponding name to the layer. Renaming the layer will automatically rename the shader. Do not change the name of the shader directly in the node. Whenever you need to rename a layer, do so in the Layer UI. For the Tube Builder, a shader is created with a Condition Diffuse node, which is connected to the color of the shader. Let's say we want to add some texture to this layer. Go to the Diffuse Condition node and plug in a texture in the color A slot. With a texture assigned, now you can toggle between the texture and the display layer color easily. Make sure the layer is selected, and go to the shader menu. Choose the color only option to show the display layer color. When in this display mode, a change in the display layer color will automatically refresh the color on the strands. To view the texture, go back to the shader menu, select the full option, and the assigned texture will be shown once again. UVs for the tube strands is updated to work with our UV retaining system. There are two ways for the initial UV creation. Scroll down to the UV control section, click on the Create Refresh UV button, and select a UV type. UV will then be created. Another way to create the initial UV is to use the new UV retaining system toggle. Simply click on it, and the UV will be created in strip. The UV retaining system is implemented as a measure to handle topological changes to the strands. When you see the toggle as green, the system is active. Operations such as changing the subdivision, adding or removing a profile curve, or profile curve shape changes, the UV will be remapped. When the retaining system is active, it also ensures that when a UV is moved or scaled, the UV position is remembered. For the tube strands, when the UV is kept vertical and without any rotation, the UV retaining system allows us to keep the UVs without losing any work. There are situations you may consider turning the UV retaining system off. When working on multiple strands at the same time, the system can slow down quite a bit. With multiple tube strands selected, turn off the retaining system by clicking on the toggle. Any operation that changes the topology will now process right away. When you are done with the shape changes, simply turn the system back on, and the UVs will be remapped once again. There's one thing we need to watch out for. Any UV edit when the retaining system is off will not be remembered. For example, I turned off the retaining system, then I moved and scaled the UV. Now, when I turn on the retaining system, the UV is remapped back to the previous position. If you need the UVs on tubes, to avoid this from happening, working only with few strands at a time and keeping the UV retaining system on at all time is recommended. There is also an update to the profile curve section. Now you can add or remove mirroring points on the profile curves. To add mirroring CV points, hold down Shift and click, and then drag along the profile curve. It will display the CV points. When the mouse button is released, the CVs will be added to all the profile curves. To remove mirroring points, hold down Ctrl and middle mouse drag on the profile curves until the points are highlighted. Releasing the mouse will remove the mirroring CV points. In this version, you will have the ability to match selected profile curves to the root profile. Let's say we have a root profile curve adjusted, and we like to make the same changes to the other profile curves. Press down the Control key and click the profile curve layer to highlight them, and then click on the Match to Root button. We now also have the ability to flip strands without mirroring them, and the ability to duplicate entire layers. A helper curve deformer function has been added. This allows you to control multiple strands with a single curve. With strands selected, Shift-select a helper curve and link them. Now you can adjust the shapes of all the linked strands by shaping on the helper curve. To remove the link, just select the helper curve and unlink it, and delete it if you want. In this section, we will be covering the multiple aim modes functions that are new in version 15. To demonstrate it better, we will explore these modes with a coiling strands. If we scroll down to the aim control section, we will see there are a few new UIs here. Trying with the curve normal mode, the strands looks okay. Let's try with the auto normal mode. With this mode, the aim direction changes along the strand. Some are facing up, and some are facing inward. Trying to change this with the rotation will fix only a section, but not the entire strand. To address this specific issue, we will use the aim curve mode. Initially, this does not look okay. Let's toggle the aim curve so we see what's going on. Change the aim span slider to reduce the CV counts. This will force the curve to be somewhat in the middle of the coils. By doing this, the strands are now better aimed. To further adjust the aims, we can utilize the sculpting tool again. Let's reset this, and explore another option we can do with the aim curve to make our coiling strands. Turn on Use Given Normals. You can see the strand pops, and are aiming in the direction of the given normal, which is the y-axis. In cases where a strand does not have y-axis as the up vector, simply rotate the camera, and click on the Capture Normal button. The interactive curve tools have also been updated to work with the Strands Builder much better. We can now resize the UI, making it more compact. And dock it anywhere we like. Before, in order to sculpt a curve, the curve need to be displayed in the scene. With how the Strand Builder is set up, this causes a lot of back and forth toggling. In this version, the interactive brush are all updated to tackle this issue. If you are in geometry mode, you can just select the strand geometry and enter a brush. The curves will be automatically toggled. To enter a curve tool, you can click on an icon in the menu, or use the marking menu. This will allow quick swap to a different curve tool. When entering a tool with the marking menu, The options will still be displayed in the interactive curve tool UI. The Sculpt tool, not only it's improved to how it works with the strands, but it also got 2 new functions. Holding down the Shift key and middle mouse button will now rotate or orient the strand. Holding down Control key and middle mouse button will scale the strand. All the curve tools are also updated to work with the strand builders a lot smoother.